Hey everyone and welcome. My name is Marcus and today in this video I will share with you how to make this typography animation inside After Effects. The first thing is to set up a new composition. I'm going to name mine Type Motion with a resolution of 1000 pixels by 1000 pixels with the aspect ratio in square pixels and 25 frames per second and 30 seconds long and press OK. Now let's select the type tool and write the word we want to animate. In my case is good. Then break the line and write it again. And go to the character tab. Now change the font to something more nifty, like the Anton font. Increase the size to make it more visible and adjust the spacing between the words and letters. Now select the bottom letters and give each of them a unique color. Of course you can do this later too. Whatever, I like to make my design decisions as soon as possible, so I can focus on animation afterwards. Cool, now we need to convert this text to paths. It's like outlining a text in Illustrator. Oh, and by the way, this step is destructive, which means you won't be able to go back and edit your word, so be sure of your word choices. Cool, now that you know that, let's select our text layer, right click and go to Create and select Create Shapes from Text. And it will create a new shape layer with your letters and hide the text layer that we had before. With your new shape layer selected, go to the little search bar by the timeline and write Path. This will present you with all the paths in your timeline, in our case the paths that create our beautiful letters. And the best part is you can keyframe these paths, which means you can animate them, and that's where the real magic resides. So now we want to select all the paths and click on the little stopwatches to mark the initial state of the letters. Then move our timeline needle 1 second and let's make our first modification. For that, let's click on one of the paths, then select the After Effects selection tool, select the top points of the bottom letter and push them down, contracting the letter and making it smaller. As soon as you modify a path, After Effects will automatically mark a new keyframe, so you don't need to worry and go back to the stopwatch to do it. Now on the top letter, select the bottom points and push them down, stretching the letter and making it taller. After that, let's move our timeline needle 1 second more and make the top letter shorter and the bottom letter taller. So both of them have two different states. Perfect. When you finish, go to the top menu and click View and select Show Rulers. And add some guidelines to help you with the positions of the modifications, so you can use it on the following letters. We just need to repeat the same process to all the other letters left. And then when we finish to make all the modifications, we can delete the initial state keyframes, because they aren't helpful anymore. Then let's select the first set of distortion keyframes and go to Edit and make a copy. Then move our timeline 1 second more and go back to Edit and paste the keyframes, so it will loop perfectly. Now let's move the needle to the last set of keyframes and press the letter N on your keyboard to move the work area and press spacebar to preview your animation. At the moment it looks a bit dull, not the distortion but the speed of the movement, and that's because our keyframes are in a linear mode, which means they have a constant velocity from start to finish. But we are going to change that. Please select all the keyframes and click this graphic icon to open your graph editor, and here is where you can adjust the speed and velocity of your animation. The graph editor deserves an hour-long tutorial and explanation, because it's an essential tool inside After Effects. Wherever today, we'll only do the very basics. These little squares are the keyframes we made before, but here they are represented differently. So let's select them and go to the bar with the pre-made animation curves. And we will use a ease and ease curve to start with. So click on it and you can see immediately that our keyframe curve has changed to a M shape. And if you press a spacebar again, you can see that the animation feels better too. But to make it even more enjoyable, we can select these little anchor points and move them to make the curve steeper, making our animation pop a little bit more. Press the spacebar again and you can see it looks much better. Great, I'm happy with this. So let's click back on the little graphic window to return to our layered timeline, and let's move our timeline needle to the last set of keyframes. And go to Edit and select Split Layer. And as it says, it will divide our layer in two. And we will delete the new one. And with our left layer selected, let's go back to the top menu and go to Layer and select Pre-Compose, which will create a new composition with our shape layer. Let's name it something, leave it as Move All Attributes into the new composition, click on a checkbox to adjust the composition duration to the time of the selected layers, and press OK. Great. With the new composition selected, let's go to Layer, Time, and select Enable Time Remapping. The time remap will create two keyframes, where the composition starts and ends, wherever the last keyframe will be black, as the time remap always gets the final empty frame of a composition. And please don't ask me why, because I really don't know, and if you know, please tell me. Anyway, the way around this is to create a keyframe right before the last one. So let's do it. Let's zoom in our timeline and return the needle one frame. And go to our time remap property and click on the little diamond to mark a new keyframe. With that done, we can delete the empty one. This is very important because we will apply an expression to loop this animation forever. So let's apply a loop expression. First, on the time remap property, while holding Alt on the Windows or Option on a Mac, click over the stopwatch to open the expression editor. Here you can write your expressions if you are into JavaScript, or you can click on this little play button and use the pre-made expressions, which are very useful. And in our case, we will use property loopout type cycle. Now you can extend your work area, press the spacebar and see that animation loops forever. And that's great. This was already great fun, but we still have a few more steps to take. Let's select our composition layer and go to Edit and select Duplicate and make 3 new copies. We need a copy for each letter column. Cool, now let's select the first composition layer, press Enter to edit the name and name it G. And the next one we name it to O, the next one O again, and the last one to D. Perfect. Now we will select the G layer and go to the top toolbar and select the rectangle tool and make a mask around the 2 Gs and repeat the process for each letter left. After that, let's zoom in our timeline until you can see the frames, not just the seconds. And then select the second layer and move it 10 frames forward. And do the same to the third layer and move it 10 frames ahead of the second one, and so on, staggering the layers 10 frames apart from each other. Then select all the layers and slide them to the left, so the last keyframe of the first layer is the first keyframe in the timeline. I hope it makes more sense visually. This way we can crop the composition time, creating a perfect loop at any timeline moment. This is perfect when we want just a 2-second GIF and we don't want a very heavy file. And this is it. But before exporting our file, let's add a background layer. For that, let's go back to the top toolbar and go to Layer, New, and select New Solid. It will open a window with the solid settings. Let's name it Background and click Make Comp Size just to ensure it fits perfectly in our comp, and press OK and move it under all the layers, and that's it. The only step to do now is to export our file, and I will export it as MP4 in case we want to publish it on Instagram or TikTok, and a GIF for online use. So let's start with the GIF export. I usually use the GIFGun plugin. It's a little plugin that exports GIFs directly from After Effects and is effortless and easy to use. You just click Make GIF and it makes a GIF. It's perfect. I will leave a link in the video description if you want to check it out. Whatever to make a GIF without any external or expensive plugins, we need to select a time range with our timeline work area. Something around 2 seconds will be enough. Then go back to the top menu, Composition, and select Add to Media Encoder. And here we can change the export format and choose Animated GIF and decide where we want to save it. And that's it. To export the MP4, return to After Effects, select the time range you want to use and be sure it loops, and then go to Composition and select Add to Render Queue, then click the little arrow on the output module, choose the H264 to export an MP4, select where we want to save it, press Enter, and that's it. We have a GIF and an MP4 of our animation, ready to show and share with our families, friends and followers. And well, that's it. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching this video on typography animation. Remember to hit that like button and to subscribe to my channel for more content like this. And if you have any questions or suggestions for the future, please leave me in the comments section below. Thank you again for watching, and I hope I'll see you in the next one. Cheers, bye bye.